Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for tuning in to Girl Talk with Kaelin, where we discuss faith, fashion, and millennial women on the rise. I'm your host, Kaelin Ann, and I'm just so grateful to be here today. Today's topic is balance in business, and we have a special guest here, Christina Brillati.
Yes.
Hey, girl, how are you?
Great. Thanks for having me.
Of course. So just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so my name is Christina Brillati, and my background is, my education and my background is interior design. And I worked in Birmingham, Michigan, and Naples, Florida, and for many years. And then I decided when I had my first child to stay home. And one child turned into four, and 13 years later, I decided it was time to, get back to work. So I thought that it would be interior design. I thought I would go back to that since that was my passion, but it just didn't fit into my. It didn't fit into my family. It didn't fit into my goals as a mother. So I pivoted and I opened Tribe, and I love it.
Yes. And so why did you start Tribe Detroit?
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. So Tribe is a creative studio for entrepreneurs, mostly creatives, but really all entrepreneurs are creative, so kind of works for everybody. It's a place for them to come and meet and collaborate, a place for them to work out of their home, work at a place that's outside of their home. And
like a co-working space.
A co-working space. We do a lot of style photo shoots. We do content creation for social media and branding, and so a lot of different things. Like whatever your business needs, I almost feel like we could fulfill.
Help you?
Yeah.
And then you do events?
We do some events. We do small networking events, and so my passion behind that is that I just feel that when I was younger, I wish I would have had a place like that to go to, and a place where I never had a mentor in my life and my business, so I wish that I would have had that. So I feel like it's a place where women can come and find that support.
I love that. That's super cool. And so your background is in interior design. So how do you think that helps you shape the existence of Tribe Detroit? Because you are a creative,
right? And
I've seen the space. It's incredible.
Thank you.
I love every detail about it.
Thank you.
So how do you think that's helped, the existence of that?
Yeah. So I think I just knew that if I could create a space that people loved to be in and had a great energy and was all-inclusive, in a place where people felt supported, that I would find my following and I would find my clients. And so far that's worked. And, everything with Tribe it's meant to elevate your business.
Right.
Like it's all plain, it's white, it's clean.
It is.
So whatever someone brings into my space, it's gonna pop.
Yes, because everything is, I love it.
Thank you.
And so your passion, I know you said you didn't have like a mentor, right? And I think it's so important as business owners, entrepreneurs, to have those mentors.
Yes.
And so you've created a space where women can come, or just, people in general can come and get those connections and make those genuine connections.
Yes.
And so what's the passion behind that for you? Because or what's the reason for that? Because some people are like, I'm making money, I'm just gonna start a business and make money.
Right.
But some people don't. Some people start businesses for passions and for to help other people.
Right.
So what was that for you?
Right. Well, I just feel like there's just something very powerful about having women at the top of their businesses and meeting and connecting with women that need that extra push. Like, I'm very self-conscious about my work, and I always felt like I wanted an extra set of eyes, or
to look over, to help you.
Yes, or somebody to just say, yeah, go in that direction, or I love what you're doing here. And more when I was younger, but even so now, it's still
that validation.
Yes, I feel like a lot of women need that, and so to have a place where they can come and bring what they're working on and get some direction and. Yeah.
I think that's super cool.
Yeah.
And so you started Tribe Detroit after being a stay-at-home mom for many years.
Many. And
so how has that transition been, have looked like for you and your family?
Yeah. So I think that I got to a point at home. I love being home. I loved being home with my kids. But they're in school now, and it was time. I always felt like I would go back and do something. It was just a matter of finding what I wanted to do.
Right.
And what fit in with our schedule. And I really, I almost opened a few other businesses in the past maybe 5 to 7 years.
Wow.
But none of them would have worked with my family. And I took the time and I really tried to evaluate what my goals were with a business, and if it was going to overtake my life and I wasn't going to have time for my family, that just wasn't going to work for me.
That's great. That's
so
really good.
it took a lot of time to come up with Tribe, and I'm glad that I waited, because 5 years ago, I wouldn't have had the idea for Tribe.
Right.
And 5 years ago, people probably wouldn't have known how to use Tribe. So it was like the right business at the right time. It just all came together.
Yes. And so how is your husband and the kids and everything, with the business?
They're great. I mean, they love seeing me do something.
And your action and your passion, doing what you love to do.
I think they see that I'm happier, but I mean, I'm home a lot too. Like, I'm not working 80 hours a week. I'm not working 60 hours. I'm not even close. So, I'm home a lot, and I think that they are excited for me, and they're very supportive. It's been great.
Good. That's really good. And so, how do you think you found your niche?
I think it was just a lot of self-reflection and really getting to know myself and getting to know not just what I wanted to do, but what are my strengths? Like, and being really honest about my weaknesses. Like, there's a lot that, like, I, for many years, did try to make a go of interior design, but I'm not great about talking about myself, and I'm not great about, like, marketing myself. And so with this business,
but you do it so well.
Oh, thank you. But with this business, it's great because I don't have to talk about myself. I talk about my clients, and I talk about the work that they're doing in my space. So, I think it's just a lot of really getting to know
reflection and knowing
and getting to know
yourself, what your strengths and your weaknesses,
and what are your non-negotiables, and
right.
what do you make a list. I took notes and notes and notes and notes.
Did you ever go to like any classes? Did you ever like study on social media? You know how social media, everyone they're going to these conferences, they're going to LA for these create and cultivate, things like that that cost a lot of money. Did you have to do that in order to start Tribe?
I did. I went to one, but I read a lot of books. I took a lot of online classes. I took classes on things that had nothing to do with interior design. Anything in the realm of the creative field or that I was interested in, branding, blogging, a lot of different things.
That's great.
And then the last thing that I did, though, I did go to Virginia for a 3-day workshop, and it was for creative business owners, and I didn't have a business. And it was actually small.
But that's great.
It was small. There were only like 30 people there.
That's good and intimate.
And I just was like, I'm here, and I don't have a business, and
but
I just want to, and I just want to like
learn,
be inspired and learn. And then when I left, I was like, oh, I want that energy. I want that energy that I experienced. I want it all the time. So that's kind of how you never know when you're going to have your aha moment.
Yeah, and your space is pretty intimate, and it looks beautiful on the inside.
Thank you.
So I can definitely speak to that. And so, how do you think being someone younger and trying to find their niche? And they don't really know themselves. You know what I'm saying? They don't really know their strengths or weaknesses. They're just kind of going, and they have really great ideas, but they don't really know their niche or that target audience. How do you think? How can you?
I feel bad for girls in their 20s today. I mean, it was a lot different when I was in my 20s.
You feel bad for me?
I feel inspired for you because there's so many different things and directions and avenues that were not open to me in my 20s. Sorry. So I feel inspired by you and excited for your future, but I feel bad because there's so much like the comparison game, and there's so much noise.
So easy to,
and it's so hard to be distracted.
It is.
And I feel like you guys have a pressure to figure it out in your 20s, and you may not figure it out in your 20s, and that's okay. Maybe your 20s is for learning and experiencing and soaking up everything that you can, so that maybe you find your path in your 30s, and that's okay.
Ooh. Really? I want to be successful now.
Everybody does.
I
know. But you are. Look at you.
But, I think with the right people around you, I think in your early 20s or your, late 20s or whatever, I think it's possible.
I think you're always successful. I don't feel like, I guess everyone has a different idea of what success is.
And that's, okay, so what would you define success for you?
I mean, for me, to do great work that I love, and to always be creative, and to have that outlet, and to be a good role model for my kids. So those are attainable benchmarks of success that you can have.
That's true.
It doesn't have to be like all the money in the world and all the power in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think for me, success is like changing. So at first I thought I wanted to like make all this money and help my family, and, you know, put people on who, you know, help me and all that stuff, and buy things. But I think right now it's just like I want to just be at a place where I'm happy to do what I love, which is to talk to women, to encourage women, and just to put people in a room together. And so I think right now I think success does look different from other people, for different people.
For sure.
Yeah. And so your other businesses that you tried to start, why did they fail? Or why didn't they, why
Well, they never came to be. They never came to be. And I just think that I just really, again, the self-reflection and the, do I want to be tied to a store? Like, I thought I would open like a home decor boutique.
Ooh.
With a lot of like vintage, you know,
Sounds
really,
cute.
It would have been amazing.
I know.
In my head, it's amazing. But it just, I didn't want to be tied to a store, you know, 40 hours a week or whatever. So I just think that you have to really, really figure out what in life is going to make you happy. And it's not the same for everybody.
That's true. It's your family.
It's not the same.
Spending time with your family and having that place to call, you know, have a creation, and also allowing your family to be in that.
Right.
I love that.
Right.
And so what were the challenges you faced opening up Tribe?
Well, I knew it would take a minute to get people to kind of understand how to use it. It's a little bit of a different concept, and it was hard to not get pigeonholed into. I have a lot of photographers that use it for studio sessions and things like that, but it's not strictly a photography space. It's, you know, we're going to have a workshop in the new year about setting goals and intentions. You know, we had holiday workshops all month. We've had networking events and, you know, great styled photo shoots, and we do a program called Snap Social Solve, which is about content creation. And
I like that.
Yeah, it's
Super
great.
cool.
It's people come in and they get an hour of photography with Alyssa Leffler Photography and an hour of digital marketing coaching with right outcomes.
See, that's good. You're bringing resources together.
Exactly, to help people grow their
really
businesses.
Good. That's really good. And so I know you're kind of established, I would say, right? And you open your business. But did you have to have like a certain money in your bank account for you to, you know, like feel comfortable in starting Tribe? Like, okay, at this point, I think, you know, it's time for us to open. Yeah.
I think you never feel ready for that.
Really?
Well, I mean, we've saved for a lot of years, and my husband's had his own business for over 10 years.
Oh, okay.
So I think that we were prepared. We knew how, you know, to make that jump, but it is scary. I mean, you've got responsibilities and kids to raise, and, you know, it is scary.
Yeah.
But you have to just, I don't want to say just do it. I mean, I made some concessions.
No, seriously.
It would have been
just
great for my business to be in Birmingham. It would have been great for my business to be in Detroit.
Gotcha.
But did I want to make that investment on a new concept? You know, I really had to weigh that, weigh those options.
That's pretty darn smart. Because the end thing is to, you know, have a business in the center of where everything's popping, Detroit or whatever, Birmingham, all the rich people is, you know what I'm saying? So
I took a step back, but it was for me, but it was also for people using my space.
Right.
If I were in Birmingham or Detroit, I would be charging people way more.
Right.
And that defeats the purpose and the passion and the heart behind Tribe. So I want college kids to be able to use Tribe.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
And a lot of businesses aren't catering to those people.
Yeah.
So you have a good one.
Thank
And so did you have to make any significant sacrifices, you think?
No, just my mental state. It weighs. It's the pressure. It's scary. I mean, I'm not going to lie. It's scary. But I just think without, risk, there's no reward. And
that's good.
It was scarier to not do it than it was to really go ahead and put yourself out there and, put your money on the line.
And so when do you think you came to a point where you had to have something for yourself? So with, your husband, he has his own business, your kids, okay, they're grown now. I mean, they're getting older, they're in school. Now it's, I want something for myself.
Right.
When was that point?
I mean, I think everybody needs something for themselves, everybody. And it might not be your work. Your work might not be what your passion is. It's great if it can be. If your work can be your passion, then that's phenomenal. But sometimes it may be just something else. It may be you know, maybe you want to write a book or be a certified yoga instructor or something on top of what you're already doing. So I just think no one should not have passion in their life. Everybody should do something and find that thing that excites them.
I love that. And so what advice would you give to entrepreneurs to prepare for opening up a new business?
Just to research and educate, and you have to fill a need for somebody. You have to figure out what is someone's pain point and what do they not have, and what is that little thing that you can provide that people need. And I think if you can do that, you know, and
how does someone do that?
Just to talk to people. You've got to get out there and you've got to talk to people, and you can't I don't think you can do it just through social media. Like, you have to be present. You have to go to networking events. You have to talk to people in the field that you want to be in, and really get to know the ins and outs of their business. And you have to research, and you have to see what else is out there and what can you do different. Yeah. And maybe it's combining a couple different businesses
together. I like that. I really do. And so would you advise someone to get like an internship or get like an apprenticeship or something like that in the field, the business that you want to start?
I think anything that you can do to educate yourself in the realm of what you want to start. I mean, I took a job right after we first got married at a florist. You know, I wanted to know about floral design. I think anything that you can do to educate yourself.
I like that.
And, you know, stay relevant and be present and really just try to figure out your path.
Yeah. And so where can people find you? On social media? Yeah.
Yeah. TribeDetroit.com is my website. And just Tribe Detroit is my Instagram handle. And I do a lot just through Instagram mostly.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I built my business on Instagram.
What?
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's something for you. I haven't heard that one yet.
Yeah.
I like that. And so do you have any last tips that you want to share with entrepreneurs, anybody trying to start their business, trying to, balance life and business?
Yeah. I mean, it's hard, but I think that you have to take a risk. You have to put yourself out there. You have to be brave and find your path and figure out how to make yourself stand out. I know those are things, that are general,
that we typically don't think about, but we should be intentional about.
Yeah, but take risks. I mean, life is so short. Take risks.
I wish
I would have done that more. I wish I wouldn't have been so, serious about checking off those boxes in my life. And I wish I would have just jumped in and tried new things.
Just do it. Go for it.
Not worrying about failing, because failing is setting you up for success in another area.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate you.
Thanks for having me.
Guys, thank you so much for tuning in, and please share this video. We will see you next week. Take care. Bye.